I gotta turn on my computer so that I can be able to reply to anything you guys put in the chat. So let me power this up. But how are you? How was your day? Hopefully, you guys got a chance to spend time with some family. And if you had to work, I hope you had a good day at work. I was open today and I had one signing, and then I spent the rest of the day with my family. So, hi, Stephanie. So it was a good day. I am sleepy though because I woke up a little early. I probably shouldn't have because my signing wasn't until 1, but I opened at 10. And because I have my opening hours set at a certain time, I like to be up just in case somebody calls me right when I open. Because I could have just laid there, but did nothing to spend time with family. That's good, Stephanie. That's the best, being able to spend time with family because we're always running around and giving everybody else our time. So being able to give your family your time is awesome. Let's see. So what do you guys have planned for the upcoming week? Oh, we're in the week now. So for the week, I was thinking, and I want to know what you guys think about this. So for the QA, right? I was thinking about maybe not doing it on a weekday. Maybe I could start doing it on a weekend. But if I do it on a weekend, it would have to be like noon. So if I did it like on a Saturday, what do you guys think about that? I really like to get your opinion on the best time and day for me to go live so that I can at least get people on and asking questions because the whole purpose of me coming live is so that you guys could come on here and ask questions. And so if I'm just going live to just talk about random stuff, it's not really benefiting you. Mondays work for you, Stephanie? Okay. All right. Let me find my live so I can get on here. What I did want to talk about today, though, was how to get business as a notary who has not taken the additional trainings or certification classes to become a signing agent. I've been getting, you do like Mondays to Nicole? Okay. All right. We can keep it on Mondays then. I've been getting a lot of questions about how to get work if you are not trying to do real estate closings. You don't want to become a signing agent right now. You just want to focus on general notary work. And I guess we'll talk about that tonight. Okay. Oh, shit. I'm on my channel. Let me find this live and get into the chat. All right. I found it. All right. Pause it. I just want to see the chat. Okay. So what do you guys have planned for the week? Sorry for the buzzing you hear in the back. I am washing my clothes so that I can have some clean clothes to wear for the week. All right, so getting business as a notary who just wants to do general notary work. Okay, so first off, hey Anita. So first off, what does that mean? Okay, like people, they see these titles that we are specifying different types of notary to be, and they're confused. Okay, so general notary. All right, Stephanie, that's what I'm talking about. That is what exactly what I'm going to talk about too. Um, General notary work means that you're doing anything but closings for title companies or signing services. All right, general notary means that you're handling general types of documents, okay? Now, that does not mean that you will not be called to do a closing, because I've done several closings here in my home office, or I've gone to someone's home or their realtor's office to do a closing, because people are afforded the option to hire their own notary if they don't want to use the notary that is provided to them from the services that they're using. Okay, just to be very clear. Okay, you do not, in some states, I'll say some states, okay, because there are some states where you do have to have certain licensure to be able to perform, facilitate closings, okay? But here in the state of Florida, we don't, okay? If a company, other than a signing service, or a customer calls you because they have some, they're selling the property, they want to know if you can come over or if they can come to you and have you sign their seller documents and notarize them. You don't need to have any special certification to do that, okay? Any documents that you're handling, you're only notarizing them, okay? You only need to know how to notarize documents, okay? That's it. You don't need to know what the meaning of the documents are. You don't need to know how, you don't really need to know how they look, how they're laid out. All you need to know is that one, they're completed documents, because we know nowhere in any state can a notary notarize blank documents. We cannot notarize incomplete documents. Okay. So that's one. Two, you just want to make sure that the person who is signing and standing before you, their name is actually listed in the document, because I've gotten that several times where a person, they want to sign documents to get it notarized, and they're not even the principal or the signer listed. They're not a party to the document at all. You're like, okay, it doesn't have your name here to sign. Oh yeah, I was going to sign for so and so. Yeah, well, that's a whole nother scenario where you would have to make sure that they're allowed or given the permission to sign on behalf of someone else. But anyway, and then you want to make sure all the documents are there. Okay. Many times people will come to you and they'll just bring the document that they see needs to be signed by the notary, and all the other documents are back at home or nowhere to be found. We just need you to sign this one. Okay, well, not I can't do that. Pages are missing. How do you know pages are missing? There are some telltale signs that you can tell documents are missing pages, okay? The pages can have missing page number. If it has a page number at the bottom, it says 7 of 8, and you got 5 pages, there may be some pages missing. If the beginning of the document is starting like it's in the middle of a sentence, it could be missing some pages. I mean, there's just some telltale signs, okay? That does not take a special person to know that there are pages missing in a document, all right? So if a person calls you to notarize a document, you can notarize a document. We can literally notarize any document that a person wants to be notarized, unless it is specifically listed in your state handbook that you can't. All right. And that's why it's really important that you know your state handbook like the back of your hand, because you need to know what you can and cannot do in your given state that you're commissioned in. All right. So many times I get people calling me, they're like, what company can I sign up for to get work? Okay. So when a person asks me that, I automatically assume they're talking about doing closings. Okay. Lately, people have been talking about general notary. Guys, there isn't a service or a platform specifically for general notary. Okay. So I'm sorry. What you have to do is you have to market. You got to market your services. Either you're going to do it online, or you're going to go out in person and meet people. You're going to hit the pavement. That is what being a business owner is all about, is getting the word out to everybody that you provide XYZ services. Okay? That is the only way you're going to get work doing general notary. Now, if you do decide somewhere along the line down the road to become a signing agent, then there are several platforms that you can be listed on. Okay, several signing services that you can contact and sign up with so that you can get business for that. But when it comes to general notary, I'm sorry, there isn't any specific platform. It's just you putting yourself in a notary directory. You have notary123.com, notaryrotary.com, notarycafe.com, right? Those are the known, and popular directories for notaries to be listed on if you're not doing closings. All right. That's really all I can give you for that. You can list yourself on Google, list yourself on Yelp. You can list yourself on Bing Places, um, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, if you're only going to focus on online, then you got to know that there is going to be a limited, amount of exposure you're going to get, because advertising online, that's too broad. Okay, you're advertising to the many, whereas you want to kind of focus on your area, your neighborhood. Next door app, that's a great app. Surprisingly, I have gotten customers off that app. So if you want to get business, what I'm saying, that is right in your area, you want to focus on local. Okay, local exposure is the best. Local exposure can extend your reach, but you got to start small. You got to start right where you are. Yeah, I get majority of my business from Google. I want to learn more about those types of documents too. I think I want to learn more about estate planning this week. That way I can offer that service in the future. Exactly. If you, speak another language, or if you know sign language, that is definitely something to list yourself on. Estate documents, that I have several videos, Nicole, for estate documents. But again, because I keep getting people that are saying, if I don't know how the documents are, and I don't know what they are, how can I notarize them? Guys, look, don't overthink this. Okay, do not overthink this. All you need to know how to do is notarize documents. That's it. Okay, and you need to know, if you see a blank, that they need to fill it in. Okay, if the blank says initial here, if the blank says date here, if the blank says print your name, if the blank says signature, that's all you're doing. Okay, sometimes people will come to me with their estate documents and they've just printed them out, and they come to my house and we are about to notarize, but I can't notarize it because it's incomplete. So I will have them sit there and they just fill it out, you know. And if they have any questions about the documents, remember, the information is right there on the paper. Okay, you can't give any legal advice. You can't tell them what your opinion is about anything that they're doing. They have to fill the document out themselves. All you can do is point and make sure that nothing is left blank on, accident, because there are some things that they're going to probably, it's not going to be applicable to their situation. So they could put NA. I always tell people, never leave blanks, because that could be filled in later on by someone else, and you don't want this document to be altered after it's been notarized. Other than that, you don't need to know these documents, guys. Like, stop thinking that you need to be the expert that knows what these documents are for, what they mean, when are they being used. No, you don't need to know that. But what you do need to know is, can it be notarized? Can the document be notarized? How many notarizations? How many signers? Does it need witnesses? That's it. That's it. So please don't trouble yourself with trying to figure out the meanings and the history and the uses of these documents. We don't need to know that, because when you start doing that, what it does is it makes you a interested party now. Okay, remember, we're supposed to be disinterested parties. We're supposed to be non-biased, witnesses to signatures. So when you start knowing more than what you need to, then you start passing your opinion, you start giving them advisement that we're not supposed to. And that's where people mess up. They're like, well, I want to know these documents. I would just want to know them, and I want to know what they're for and how to be used. And you can't do that. You can't. Now, if you want to know, just to know is fine, but be very careful and try not to, cross over that threshold until into a space where we're not supposed to be. Okay, please, please. It's the same thing with closing documents. People, they think that they need to know what these documents are for. No, we don't. We just need to explain to them what the document is. Okay, when I'm doing signings, I tell them the title of what they're signing and they sign it. That's it. Like, stop making this. This is where notaries get scared and they never start because you're watching all these videos and you're thinking that you need to be a pro at knowing what all these documents are used for and what they mean and the history behind it. No, you don't. You're not the title company. You're not the lender. All right. You're not the realtor. You're the notary. Do your job as the notary only. Okay. You should know how to read, though, if you're going to notarize documents. All right. Tell them what they're signing. Point to information that is important to them. Okay. Interest rates, term, first payment date, are our names spelled right? Closing date, how much I got to pay for closing? How much am I getting back? That's all they want to know. Okay. They don't want to know what each disclosure is. They don't want to know, oh, what is a deed? Most people know what a deed is. You don't need to tell them what a deed is. Okay. What is a mortgage? Oh my God, can you tell me what a mortgage is? What does a mortgage mean? You don't need to do all that. You don't need to do all that, guys. Don't overthink it. Okay. And remember, everything that they want to know is right there on the documents. So if you do get a question like that, read the document. Just read it. Because sometimes people understand things better when it's read out loud to them. That is a fact. Okay? That's literally all you're doing. You're not doing anything else. When customers ask me questions that I know that I cannot get the answer for, I tell them to call their representative. And that's what they do. And we continue on with signing the other pages. And we don't have to sign that one page that they have a question about until they speak to whoever they need to speak to. And we continue signing. Okay. I had a person ask me, he was like, so they told me that, I think it was a HELOC. They told me that funds would be dispersed in 3 days. Um, do you know anything about that? No, I don't, but you can call whoever the person number is that I have listed, or whoever the person is they're working with. I'll tell them that in a minute. No, you can call them and they can clarify that for you. Or they'll say, well, they told me it'll be dispersed to my account, but I don't know what account they have. Okay, then we can go through the documents. We get to the document, their account number is right there. Does this account number look familiar? Oh yeah, yeah, that's the account I thought. Everything is in the paperwork, guys. Yeah, you don't let all of that scare you. Okay. Now, what you should be scared about is not knowing how to notarize documents. Okay. We should all, as notaries, be very clear on how it looks to notarize a document. You're looking for all the elements to be present in the certificate. If it is not, make it compliant if you can. If you can't, attach a certificate, move on. That's it. And I don't mean to sound harsh, but when I tell you guys, I get questions all the time. I don't want to do this because I don't know what the documents are. Oh gosh. I'm just like, if you're going to be stuck on that, you're never going to start. You're never going to start. I'm sorry. Because there is no rhyme or reason for you want to know what these documents are, and the why and the how and the I mean, you don't need to know all that. So, and then don't forget, I have several videos, guys, walking you through how to notarize documents. I even did a whole estate planning document video showing you the different documents and what you're looking at when the person comes to you with these documents. Okay. So go back and watch the videos. They're on YouTube. Another thing that people do not do is they don't network. All right. You have to go out and you have to network. You just do. Because you don't know how many people in your immediate area are looking for somebody like you. Okay. Whenever I go to these networking events, they tell me all the horror stories that they've had with notaries. Notaries advertising their services, saying they know how to notarize and that they can notarize, and then they don't know what they're doing. And when you don't know what you're doing, it holds the person up from completing the transaction they needed to complete with the notarized document. Okay. And when people can't get stuff done, that makes people angry. Okay. So you don't want to be that notary out here saying that you know how to notarize documents and that you can provide a stress free experience. And it's the opposite. Okay. So instead of you worrying about what the documents are, how the documents came to be, focus on knowing how to notarize the documents. All right. For those who are members in my group, you have access to the member library. If you have not accessed it before, you need to request access because I have several sample documents in there that you can print out and you can practice notarizing. I have several sample closings in there that you can practice notarizing. Print them out, look at them so you can get an idea of what I'm saying about how if a person asks you about a document, all you have to do is read the information on the document. Okay, when I tell you that is all, you guys are gonna laugh at yourself like, oh my God, like this is so easy. It's so easy. Print out those sample documents and notarize them as many times as you need to make yourself feel comfortable. Do it with a friend, do it with your family, a cousin, a friend, a spouse. Just practice, practice, practice. Yeah, you're going to use a lot of paperwork. I mean, you're going to use a lot of paper, but at least you will gain that confidence that you're looking for. And you will see, dang, Bridget was right. I don't need to know all of this. Um, this is all I have to do. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe I held myself up for so long. Another thing I saw was a person there saying they can't get started because they can't register their LLC and they can't do something. So I'm like, guys, when I first started with my notary business, exactly, Anita. Yep. Um, exactly, Nicole. You could do it with other notaries. You can practice with each other. Oh yeah, so let me tell y'all, and I've told this story before, but when I first started my notary business, I did not start an LLC. Okay. I tell people all the time, don't go into anything putting all your eggs in a basket because if you end up not liking it or it end up not being something you thought it was going to be, you don't want to have wasted your time and money. Okay. I did a DBA because I already had an LLC. All right. You do want to do some type of registration if you're not just going to be using your name. Okay. That is a rule of thumb. If you are going to be going by any name other than your name, you do need to register some type of business. Okay. You can register a fictitious name. That is the cheapest way to go if you don't want to do an LLC. In some states, an LLC is cheap. In other states, a LLC is expensive, so I totally understand. But do a fictitious name, okay, which is a DBA. So it would be, for me, it would be Burjo, fully loved, doing business as Bailey's Notary Services, which is what it was for the first year. Two, no, I think it was first year and a half. I was just doing a DBA. I did that for a while. And, after my first 12 months of being a notary, I was going to close up shop because I was not getting the business that I wanted. I had started doing general notary, but even just doing general notary, it just wasn't turning out to be something that I expected it to be. But when I tell y'all, it was something about me getting over that first year where things really started to explode for me. And it was at that time that I decided Since I started getting more business and the amount of business I was getting was plentiful, I decided to go ahead and register my business, turn it into a LLC. Now, I did have to do paperwork to dissolve it as being a fictitious name. And then I had to pay for that. I had to pay for it to be dissolved, and then I had to pay for it to be an LLC. Okay. So that did cost, some money, but it was worth it. But I took my time. All right. When I first started, I didn't go all in buying printers and buying scanners and no, all I had was a journal, a stamp, some pens, a little name tag. Now I had already had a printer. I had a single tray printer, and it's right here behind me. Let me show y'all. This printer right here. I already had this printer. I had this printer because it was the printer that we use in the house. It just so happened to be a laser jet. So once I did decide that I wanted to start doing real estate signings, I was just using that with a page separator. Because again, I wasn't about to buy an expensive $600 dual tray printer if I didn't know that I was going to be getting enough signings to justify that cost. I mean, that's just crazy. I'm not about to go all in. I don't even know if I'm going to get the type of business I can get to afford to, have that pay for itself. That's where my train of thought was. Okay. You always got to be thinking about the money part of it. Okay. Do what you can and move slowly. Stop trying to rush, because what happens is when you try to rush and do things, then it doesn't work out the way you wanted it to, because you didn't take your time to um, get the skill and the education you needed to make it successful. Because let me tell y'all, if you just start off, you figure you don't want to read the handbook, you don't want to learn how to notarize documents, you just know that you need to sign and stamp. You mess up somebody's documents, they're going to tell everybody and then some about the notary to avoid. All right. So when you start getting a whole bunch of business and then all of a sudden you're not getting no business, that's going to be why. Because you're rushing, you're just trying to make a dollar, and then you're not trying to establish continued business. Okay. That's how you're going to be successful as a notary, getting continued business. I have continued business. Okay. I don't just have customers that come one time. I have a few, of course, because some people don't need documents notarized all the time. But I have people who need documents notarized quite a bit, and they only use me. And why? Because I'm resourceful, I'm knowledgeable, and I know what I'm doing. I'm not messing up their documents. And then not only are they coming back, they're sending other people to me. All right. So that's the type of flow you want to get going. Okay. So, yeah, start off slow. Don't be in a rush. You want to get it right most of the time. Because I will tell you, I've had some mistakes. I'm not going to sit up here and say I've never had a mistake. I've had mistakes. Okay. But none of the mistakes was bad enough to where it held up a person's transaction, or bad enough to where they didn't want to come back to me. Okay. So definitely don't look and be like, she never makes mistakes. Wrong. I'm human. I make mistakes too. But I do want you guys to get out of your head about this whole you need to know the documents thing. Uh, it gives me a headache, because it is not y'all. It's that I get the calls and I get the emails all the time about people being afraid to notarize documents because, and they're not even talking about the notarized part, they're talking about the other part. I want to know what the documents are. I want to know what the documents look like. I want to know what the documents are for. Why? Why? Just if they are told that they need to get the document notarized, all you need to know is, does it say on there, that it needs to be notarized? Because if not, especially if you're doing mobile, you got to go to them. You want to make sure that you have certificates. Always have loose certificates on you, okay? Because you may have to add one, you know. Um, just always be prepared, and that's how you be prepared. You have your stamp, you have your journal, have those loose certificates. Okay. Have ink pens. I ran out of ink pens Friday. Friday. I had two signings on Friday. I ran out of ink pens. Why did I run out of ink pens? Because I don't put that many in my bag. And so I decided now I'm going to put a handful of them in my bag because at first people weren't keeping them, but now people are keeping my pen. My pen looks like this. It has my little logo on it, but people are keeping my blue pen. I have blue and I have black. I have two boxes of these things and I don't go through them. But lately people have been keeping my pens. So I had to put my pens back in there. But you want to make sure you got pens, okay? And make sure that you are always checking to make sure that your person has valid ID. Another thing I keep in my bag is credible witness forms because I have a few elderly people, um, assisted living home facilities that call me. And every time I go there, I swear those people ID is either missing or expired. So, sheesh. So, yeah, I keep that on me too. So, loose certificates, and I keep those credible witness affidavits with me at all times. um, Let me go back to look at the chat because, okay. Practice makes perfect. Yes, I'll do the document prep. That is awesome. You can do it with other notaries. In school, we used to say, study long, you study wrong. Keep it simple, scholar. You're so funny, Anita. You can get started without an LLC, correct, Nicole. You could do a DBA before the LLC is cheaper. Exactly, Stephanie. Definitely do not go crazy buying everything. Exactly. And then, guys, don't forget you got Facebook Marketplace. You got Craigslist. So if you are trying to buy equipment and stay on the cheaper side, there are several notaries who went all in and spent all this money on courses and equipment only to figure out they don't really want to do it. So now they're selling their equipment and they're selling it at a cheaper price than what you would purchase it brand new in the store. All right. And there are some really good deals. I had bought a LaserJet printer last year. It was a Canon. It wasn't a dual tray, but it was in good condition. He only wanted $25 for it. Now it was dirty. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was dirty and it had roaches in it. I, I kept it in my garage for like half the year. Just I would vacuum it and spray it and clean it up. And then finally, you know, eventually I didn't see any little bugs coming up anymore. But it was $25. I cleaned that bad boy up and it printed like a pro. And it was a laser jet. People are literally just getting rid of stuff all the time. So you can hit it big by going on Marketplace and Craigslist and purchasing this. It's probably gently used too, gently used equipment for cheap. All right, let's see what else. If you make a mistake, own it and correct it. Exactly. It's not about the mistakes, it's how you respond to it. Don't, try to go back and forth with a person on what you know and da da da. Just fix the mistake. Okay? Because what you want them to do is use you again. You don't want to be blacklisted. And that goes for signings or general notary. I carry loose certificates, bid verification docs, and I-9 verification forms. That's what I have copies of too, Stephanie, in my file cabinet. And where did you purchase your ink pens with your logo? Um, I got my ink pens off of Vistaprint, and I made my logo on Canva. So I just put the logo on there. On Vistaprint, you could just upload your logo and place it on the pen way you want it to look, and then order it. I ordered 100 black and 100 blue, and I bought that 2 years ago, and I still got both boxes because I don't go through them. People usually give me my pens back, but it's cool. I still use them, and bring them with me. I got a single tray brother print off Facebook Marketplace for $50, brand new in the box. Exactly. Because, like I said, notaries are going all in only to find out this is not what they thought it was going to be. They're getting in it, they're thinking it's going to be quick money. It's not going to be quick money. Okay. Now, there are some people who have, done good, in the first 30 days, but that's because they really marketed. So let me tell you something. Think about this. I'm going to give you an example. You know when a new business is opening in your area and they start advertising like, weeks ahead of time, that's what you got to do. So if you're not already in business, and this is exactly what I did, prepare your community for your opening. All right. Post it everywhere. You could even put it on flyers. Grand opening, so and so notary services serving this county and that county, or this city and that city, or this region or of the city, or whatever. Going to be opening soon. If you need to make an appointment, um, schedule one with me here or whatever, and look forward to servicing you when I open. Okay. That's what businesses do. You prepare the community for your opening and then you open. Okay. When I first opened, I had customers calling me first day because I prepared it. Stop, princess. You're moving my tripod. I prepared people for my opening. Now, like I said, my first 12 months, it was slow. I had days where I had a lot of customers. I had days where I had no customers. I had days where I had a customer. So, I mean, it wasn't busy at all. But I also was not hitting the pavement. I wasn't networking. I started doing networking around year two. And with me getting out and meeting people, I did gain some more exposure. And I also started reaching out to signing services. Okay. Because that's something we don't do either. You sign up with the signing services and then you never do anything else. Well, they actually want active notaries to reach out to them. Now, you don't want to do this daily, but on a weekly basis, you can shoot them an email, let them know, hey, just, checking in and let you know I'm in business. I service the following areas. If you ever have a notary um, request in my area, please give me a call. Can't wait to work with you, or whatever, the email is going to be. Do you staple the attachments to the front or back of the document? It depends, Anita. Okay. You really shouldn't be stapling documents, okay, unless they say it's okay, because some people don't want the document stapled. If you're doing a copy certification, because I think you're in Florida, if you're doing a copy certification, the certificate goes on the front. If you're just attaching loose certificates, then the document goes on the back. Excuse me. But you shouldn't be stapling anything. Paper clip it. Now, some people do ask for me to staple it, and I can give them the stapler and let them staple it. And so I think that was it, guys. I just wanted to talk about the getting business as the general notary because I've been getting a lot of questions about that. And although I know I've covered it many times before, um, some people just may not have seen those videos or seen those posts or seen me share the resources. And so I'm sharing it again. Now, if you are interested in listing yourself on the notary directories, notary123.com, notaryrotary.com, notarycafe.com are good directories for you to list yourself if you're just going to be doing general notary. Doing a Google business listing, doing a Bing Places listing, and doing a Yelp listing are all free. Okay. You do want to go on there periodically. You don't have to post or do updates every day, but you do want to go on there to update your hours. Okay. Add new services you may be providing. Check your page to make sure there's updated information. What really helps is making sure that all of your information matches across the board. Okay, so all those directories should have all of your information listed the same. Okay, don't have something listed one way on another and listed another way on the other, because then it kind of throws off the relevance when people are searching for notary in your area. All right, just to give you that tip. And that was all I had. So I'm going to drop in the chat those notary directories that I mentioned. Let's see. Notary 123.com, and then notary rotary.com, and then notary cafe.com. Okay. So I listed all three of those directories there for you. And let's not forget my directory. Let me go ahead and put my directory in here because I market my directory as well. It's $12 a year. And you could also list yourself there. NotaryNetworks.com. All right. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Did you have any questions about anything that I mentioned? Oh, and for my members, don't forget that we do have a training coming up on let me see, the 17th, September 17th. Okay. We're gonna be going over I think Notary Guide 3, I think is what it is. Or is it 2? I don't remember. I listed it though in the training. So that's what we'll be doing. I have a headache, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys for joining and have a great rest of the week. Bye.